I was unexpectedly transported into a novel and bound to a redemption system. The system wants me to conquer the villainous second female lead. Right now she's only 17, being beaten half to death in an alley. The system urges me to go help her, heal her, and warm her heart. I immediately lean close to the villainous girl's ear and whisper, "Wow, you look pathetic, you useless piece of trash." System, ? Villain, ? Hashtag Chapter 1. The system says in disbelief, "Host, what are you saying?" I repeat my mocking words, and the system is about to lose its mind. "Host, you're supposed to heal Willow, not rub salt in her wounds. You're going to accelerate her descent into darkness." I'm genuinely confused about the whole situation. Why should I heal her? Whether she turns evil or not, what does that have to do with me? If the world gets destroyed, why should I care at all? If we die together, and I'm not some saint. The system is left speechless by my rebuttal. Honestly speaking, this whole thing is hilarious. Before I transmigrated, I was a professional malicious male supporting role. There was barely a single decent word that came out of my mouth. The girl in front of me had just been beaten up, her body limp as she leaned against the wall. Her eyes are closed, she's probably unconscious from the pain. I reach out and start groping her randomly without hesitation. The system says emotionally, "Host, are you going to take her to the hospital? You finally come to your senses. Willow will definitely thank you when she wakes up." "You're overthinking it," I interrupt the system's rambling voice. "I'm just checking if she has anything valuable on her." System, ? Unfortunately, the villainous girl's pockets are completely empty. I refuse to believe it and dig harder into her pockets one by one. Finally, I manage to wake her up from all the rummaging movements. Willow opens her eyes and looks at me in confusion, her voice hoarse as she speaks. "George, what are you touching?" Hashtag Chapter 2. Thanks to her words, I now know my current name is George. It happens to be the same as my original name in my past life. Willow's cheeks flush slightly as she tells me to stop touching her body. Without blinking, I make up an excuse and lie straight to her face. "You're injured, I'm just checking your physical condition." "George, are you humiliating me on purpose?" "What makes you think so?" "You called me useless just now, I heard every word clearly." Willow lowers her head silently. There's none of the vitality a girl her age should possess. Instead, she looks pale and utterly defeated. "Aren't you the one who hates me the most all this time? You even said that if I showed up in front of you again, you'd have someone break my legs." Blood trickles from the corner of her mouth as she forces out a miserable bitter smile. "Go ahead and do it. My life is worthless, beat me to death, it doesn't matter to me." Her gaze flickers subtly, carrying an almost pleading emotion. She really does look pitiful at this moment. Unfortunately, I'm a malicious male supporting role deep inside. I can recognize my own kind the instant I see it. "Willow, don't think I don't know what you're secretly planning. If I beat you to death, you'll be freed, but I'll have to face criminal charges. I might even end up going to prison because of this incident. Trading your life for my lifetime of suffering sounds like a great deal to you, doesn't it?" Caught off guard that I exposed her dark little scheme so directly, Willow drops the weak act instantly, her expression turning cold again. She supports herself against the wall and limps away slowly. When she reaches the alley's exit, she suddenly stops and calls out my name again. "George." Willow suddenly leans close, her warm breath brushing gently against my ear. It tickles my ear slightly. "Thanks for the inspection, I quite enjoyed it." Hashtag Chapter 3. The system screams loudly inside my mind. "Host, this is your perfect chance, go get flirty with her right away." I stare at it like it has completely lost its mind. Flirty with her? Are you even a proper functional system? Can't you tell Willow is just trying to disgust me deliberately? From what she just said, George and her have an extremely terrible relationship. There's a good chance the original host used to bully her constantly. If it were the original George standing here, he'd probably yell at her for being shameless. What Willow wants to see is George losing his temper and mind. Too bad for her, she picked the wrong opponent to provoke this time. I lean in close to her ear and reply coldly, "You're welcome, you little weakling." Willow freezes for a moment on the spot. She watches my departing back for a long time without moving an inch. When I get home, I start to sort through the whole current situation. This world is a sweet romance novel packed with angsty love and heartbreak plots. It also contains the classic lovers reunited storyline trope. My name is George, carrying the identity of the famous campus heartthrob. I am also the son of the richest man in this city. Sounds like the male lead's golden script, right? Wrong completely. In the whole book, George is just a disposable cannon fodder male supporting role. He is arrogant, domineering, and full of himself all day long. He is deeply in love with the original female lead, Willow's elder sister Freya. Using his powerful family background, George forcibly gets engaged to Freya. This rude action breaks apart the original loving main couple. Alright, he also frequently bullies the genuine male lead out of jealousy. As the story's ultimate hidden villain, Willow secretly falls in love with the male lead. That is why she has always hated George with all her heart. Later on, George dies unexpectedly in a terrible car accident. Readers all cheer in great satisfaction after his death. But that fatal accident had everything to do with Willow's arrangement. To avenge the female lead Freya, she doesn't hesitate to stain her hands with blood. She cruelly kills all those people who once bullied her without mercy. As for Willow herself, she is beautiful, powerful yet extremely tragic. She is the illegitimate daughter that the Liu family is ashamed to acknowledge publicly. Her mother was a stunning beauty with extraordinary looks. But she was forced into becoming a secret mistress against her will. Only after giving birth to Willow did she realize the man was already married. Unable to live with the heavy moral burden, she jumped to her death in despair. Willow inherited all of her mother's dazzling and ethereal beauty. Her appearance is almost like a fairy descending into the mortal world. But Madame Liu can't stand the sight of her existence at all. She often beats and scolds Willow harshly at home. Even the household servants dare to treat her with blatant disrespect. Growing up in that kind of harsh environment, it would be stranger if Willow didn't become twisted. On top of that, her sincere love for the male lead is never returned. Out of all people around her, he only falls for her elder sister Freya. Freya is the beloved female lead whose fate is the complete opposite of hers. And so, driven by strong jealousy, Willow races down the path of darkness without looking back. After understanding everything clearly, I comfortably decide to lie flat and do nothing. The system asks curiously why I choose to lie down and idle around. Come on, I am the son of the richest man and basically the family heir. I'd have to be out of my mind to get involved in their messy love-hate drama. The system hesitates for a while and tries to persuade me again. But, shut up immediately. Say one more word and I'll self-destruct, then neither of us can survive. Frightened by my words, the system quickly falls into complete silence. But the preset plot doesn't care about my personal wishes and choices. One early morning, my parents suddenly tell me some unexpected news. Get ready, Will, you're going to the Liu family today to arrange your engagement matter. Chapter 4. An engagement out of nowhere? My eyes widen in great surprise upon hearing the news. My so-called mother speaks in a casual tone. The formal outfit is already prepared for you. Get styled later and go charm Freya thoroughly. What is going on here? Wait a minute, something feels totally off. I voice my doubts directly. An engagement arranged right now? I'm not even an adult yet. The college entrance exams are coming up soon as well. So what difference does it make? She replies indifferently. After the exams, a girl like Freya will be completely out of your league. Mom, I don't want to get engaged, especially not to her. What nonsense are you talking about casually? My so-called father reprimands me sternly with a serious face. The Liu family's business has enormous growth potential in the future. If they choose to partner with someone else, it'll greatly impact our family business. Let me test you a simple question. What's the most stable form of cooperation? That's right, marriage alliance is always the safest choice. You marrying the Liu family's eldest daughter is the most beneficial choice for both sides. Have a child later on, and your family position will be fully secure forever. The constant money-related talk feels extremely overwhelming to me. After all that rambling, every single word eventually comes back to chasing profit. Are these people even my real biological parents? Seeing me not move an inch, my father urges me impatiently. What are you standing there for? Hurry up and get ready. I roll my eyes secretly, then put on an obedient expression on my face. All right, Mom, Dad. I won't let you down in this matter. Hey, I'm a malicious male supporting role after all. There's no way I'm letting them easily get what they want. Chapter 5. To warmly welcome our arrival, the Liu family has decorated their villa beautifully. It's obvious that they take this business partnership very seriously. I catch sight of the female lead Freya over there. She carries herself like she's far above everyone else present. I'm not interested in this kind of ordinary yet overly confident woman at all. While the elders are exchanging polite pleasantries, Freya suddenly walks up to me. She lowers her voice and talks to me privately. George, I already told you I don't like you. Why are you still clinging to me stubbornly? I look at her with a surprised expression on my face. Freya's face is full of obvious disdain toward me. I know exactly what you're trying to do. You want to be with me badly, but since I refused you directly, you're using family cooperation pressure to force me into submission. Do you really like me that much deeply? Ha! As the ancients say, inferior people always fantasize about others giving them a second glance. I roll my eyes helplessly at her words. Miss, do you think quoting random old sayings makes you look cool and wise? Freya crosses her arms and gazes into the distance with a profound expression. It's not like I can't choose to marry you. After saying that sentence, she pauses for 2 short seconds. She probably fully expects me to look delighted and excited, but my face remains as lifeless as a dead fish. It's not like I can't marry you under family pressure. I'll agree to the engagement for the sake of both families. But you should understand clearly. Someone like you reeking of money isn't someone Freya would ever truly accept. I spit out a word coldly. Idiot. What did you just say? I can't be bothered arguing with her anymore. I turned my head casually and suddenly noticed the villa's second floor. Beside a small window, Willow is quietly looking down at all of us. Her gaze is cold and distant without any warmth. Chapter 6. We move to the spacious living room to formally discuss the marriage alliance. The Lu family gives us enough face, every available family member comes to attend. The spacious living room is nearly filled to full capacity with people. Freya sits right across from me, her expression proud and aloof all the time. She is undoubtedly the shining star of the whole day's gathering. Everyone knows that very soon she'll become the perfect wife of the Wang family. She will enjoy a lifetime of abundant wealth and noble social status. My mother covers her mouth and lets out gentle laughter. Freya is so outstanding and excellent. No wonder she's got George thinking about her all day long. Oh, not at all actually. Your George is wonderful too, he is so handsome and charming. Glasses are raised and polite pleasantries are exchanged constantly. All these are just routine social formalities between wealthy families. Only after all the flattery is done do they finally get to the main topic. We came today thinking that since the children are the same age, perhaps we could strengthen the relationship between our 2 families through marriage. Of course, we couldn't ask for a better cooperation chance. Following the traditional customs of the older generation, I've matched their birth charts. They are extremely compatible in fate and fortune. That's wonderful news indeed. I suddenly stand up abruptly and interrupt their conversation. Since everything is fully ready, let me make the announcement personally myself. I pull a fresh rose from a crystal vase and glance around the whole room. I strike the pose of someone who is about to propose marriage solemnly. Freya's face darkens instantly as she questions my strange behavior. What are you trying to pull off now? Stop embarrassing yourself in front of everyone. She reaches out her hand, trying to quickly take the flower away. She wants to end this awkward scene immediately, yet grabs nothing at all. I walk steadily through the crowd of people present. Under everyone's curious and watchful eyes, I head straight to a quiet corner. I smile slightly toward Willow and speak out my proposal. Will you marry me? Chapter 7. There's not a single trace of emotion in Willow's dark eyes. She firmly thinks I'm just messing around and teasing her on purpose. Everyone else in the hall holds the exact same thought. The entire hall falls into dead and awkward silence instantly. George's mother is the first person to stand up angrily. George, what nonsense are you talking out of nowhere? What's the problem exactly? I counter her question calmly. If we're forming a marriage alliance with the Lu family, any legitimate Lu daughter should fully qualify for this engagement. I personally choose Willow Lu as my marriage partner. But she doesn't count at all. George's mother stops herself mid-sentence. However, the Lu family members have no such scruples holding back their words. Mrs. Lu speaks with a scornful tone. George, what kind of daughter is she actually? She's just an illegitimate bastard child. She's not worthy of you at all. An uncle from the Lu family adds his opinion immediately after. I've said it before, we should have locked her in her room tightly. This way she wouldn't come out and ruin such an important family matter. Even Freya frowns deeply and asks me doubtfully. George, are you throwing a childish tantrum toward me? I already said I'm willing to enter a marriage alliance with you. There is no need for you to behave like this deliberately. I don't like this kind of immature childish behavior. Like I care what you personally like or dislike. I roll my eyes dramatically for everyone to see. Then I pretend to look hurt and wronged as I speak to my parents. Mom, Dad, Freya just said I reek of money badly. I don't quite understand whether she is insulting me or insulting our entire family. I don't really mind this insult personally. For the sake of the family's huge interests, I can endure a little humiliation. But I'm really worried about Freya's attitude. She criticizes our family harshly while still clinging to our power benefits. Sigh. My parents' facial expressions immediately turned cold and stern. What on earth is going on between you two? Freya clearly didn't expect me to report her careless words. She looks flustered and scrambles nervously to explain herself. But by the end of her explanation, she somehow turns all the blame back onto me. George, I know you're just acting out of anger. You hate Willow the most among all people, don't you? Back in the past, if she even accidentally touched your coat, you'd immediately want to throw that piece of clothing away without hesitation. How could you possibly sincerely get engaged to her? At these words, Willow, who has been silent the whole time, finally reacts. A hint of mocking sneer appears on her face. It seems like Freya wasn't lying about our past conflicts. I voiced my explanation calmly. I was extremely immature back in those days. I didn't dare admit that I secretly liked her deep inside. So I used those clumsy, rude methods to get her attention. Wait a minute. Freya freezes completely in shock. Who are you saying you like? Willow. No one present believes my sudden confession at all. Under everyone's burning, curious stares, I simply take Willow's hand firmly. I like Willow from the bottom of my heart. Chapter 8. At that exact moment, I hear the familiar system voice ringing out. Ding. Willow's favorability toward the host has increased. Current favorability, -50. Wait, what just happened all of a sudden? How did that negative score rise slightly upward? Just because I openly said I liked her casually. No way. Did she actually believe my words just now? I turn my head to look directly at Willow's face. She's staring at me in great shock. Then her eyes shift to our tightly clasped hands together. Freya finally snaps out of her daze and shakes her head helplessly. George, you're still just throwing a childish tantrum at me. I ask her jokingly. How long have you had this strange mental condition? Have you gone to see a professional doctor for treatment? Freya tells me to stop making meaningless jokes. Even if you insist on getting engaged to Willow now, you'd better check carefully whether she is willing to accept you. She probably wants nothing to do with you at all. I'm willing. Willow cuts her off sharply and decisively. Her voice sounds cold yet firm and clear without hesitation. She looks around and calmly meets everyone's stunned gazes. I said, I am willing to marry him. Chapter 9. Willow really has no valid reason to refuse this engagement. Because deep down, we are exactly the same kind of people. As malicious villains at heart, we both enjoy making arrogant people uncomfortable. Especially these self-righteous wealthy elites staying inside this room. The more uncomfortable and upset they become, the more satisfied we both feel. Right now, everyone's facial expressions look extremely strained and awkward. I'm loving every second of this funny scene thoroughly. I lightly scratch Willow's palm with my fingertips gently. It was meant to send a silent message of pleasant cooperation, but Willow stiffens her body instantly at this small intimate touch. The system announces the latest data again. Ding. Willow's favorability toward the host has increased. Current favorability, -40. Just scratching her hand raises the favorability score. Is Willow just like a sensitive cat? With a wicked grin on my face, I scratch her palm once more. Ding. Willow's favorability toward the host has increased. Current favorability, -30. Again and again. Willow finally has enough of my teasing and pulls her hand away quickly. In the end, this hasty engagement alliance falls apart without any definite conclusion. Before leaving the Liu family villa, Willow suddenly stuffs something into my arms. I smile and ask playfully, is this a token of your love for me? George, all the audience has already left the place. There is no need for us to keep acting pretentiously anymore. She returns to her usual cold demeanor and walks away silently. I open the small bag and find a bottle of disinfectant hand sanitizer inside. Why would she give me this item suddenly? Suddenly, a memory belonging to the original host surfaces in my mind. He used to deeply despise Willow's existence. Every time he accidentally made physical contact with her, he'd frantically wash and disinfect his hands repeatedly right away. So that's what she meant. She is deliberately mocking my old habits. My competitive streak is instantly triggered by her provocation. You mock me on purpose, then I'll make you feel uncomfortable too. Wait, Willow. The young girl stops her footsteps immediately. I rush forward quickly and pull her into a tight, warm embrace. Chapter 10. Not only did I hug her closely, I even gently pinched Willow's slim waist. When the wind blew earlier, her casual t-shirt outlined her delicate figure clearly. Her waist was insanely slender and soft to touch. That pinch was purely out of simple curiosity about her body shape. Slim as it was, it felt surprisingly soft and tender under my fingers. Willow froze completely without making any slight movement. It wasn't until I shut the car door that I heard continuous system notifications. The reminders flooded toward me like an endless tidal wave. Her favorability kept going up and down sharply. The score fluctuates wildly back and forth without stability. Clearly, Willow's inner emotions were all over the place right now. I simply mute the noisy system voice to get some peace of mind. Sitting in the front seat, my father's anger is already burning fiercely toward me. "George, did you do that ridiculous thing on purpose to embarrass me today? I'd have been better off raising a slab of pork instead of you." "Fair point indeed," I say with a relaxed grin on my face. "But ordinary pork can't get married legally. The Civil Affairs Bureau wouldn't allow such a strange marriage." My father is too angry to speak complete sentences. I chuckle softly at his helpless reaction. "Don't be mad over this trivial matter. As long as Freya isn't chosen as the family heir in the future, I won't have to marry her against my will, right?" "Impossible," my father denies my thought firmly. "Aside from Freya, they have no other suitable candidate choice. That illegitimate daughter doesn't stand any chance at all. Give me 3 years of time. We can talk about the marriage alliance again then. I know all the details of the original preset plot. 3 years later, Madame Lou will fall seriously ill. She won't have enough energy to dominate the whole household anymore. That will be Willow's best precious chance to rise up and gain status. After all, in Chairman Lou's eyes, the illegitimate daughter still carries his own blood. He only neglects Willow Lou now because he always follows his wife's decisions. From this moment on, I'm going to reshape Willow's fate thoroughly. Let the hidden villain inherit the huge family business. Overturn the original doomed storyline completely. That is the professional standard of a qualified malicious male supporting role. But the very next day, an unexpected small accident suddenly happens. Willow suddenly collapses unconscious out of the blue. We study in a strict private school with obvious class hierarchy division. Freya and I are top students in elite class 1, while Willow stays in the lowest ranked class 8. Most of the students in class 8 are children of housekeepers and ordinary servants. These kids are especially good at reading the atmosphere and avoiding trouble actively. When Willow collapses weakly on the running track, not a single person steps forward. Everyone just watches the scene coldly and indifferently. Coincidentally, our class is also having physical education class at the exact time. I walk over steadily and lift Willow's light body up carefully. She's about 170 centimeters tall, yet feels incredibly light in my arms. The original novel mentioned this detail before. Madame Lou abused her severely and never let her eat proper meals. She wasn't even allowed to sit at the formal dining table. She was often forced to carry a bowl of food and eat alone in the quiet stairwell. After yesterday's troublesome family incident, she was probably cut off from all food supplies once again. I unwrap a sweet piece of candy gently. I am about to put it slowly into her dry mouth, when someone shoves me hard from behind all of a sudden. "George, stop bullying Willow brutally." Ah, the male lead has finally arrived on the scene. Hashtag Chapter 11. Makoto isn't particularly handsome in appearance, but his facial features are neat and clean, his skin fair and smooth. He looks like a typical bright sunny young guy. He perfectly fits the stereotypical image of a standard novel's male lead. He stands a head shorter than my height, glaring at me angrily with fierce eyes. "Stop bullying Willow immediately. As long as I'm here, I will protect her safely." I feel utterly speechless at his unreasonable accusation. "Which of yours clearly saw me bullying her just now?" he replies stubbornly without changing his mind, still daring to deny it shamelessly. "If you weren't bullying her, why would she fall heavily to the ground?" I'm even more speechless facing his foolish logic. "Open your eyes and look carefully. She simply fainted naturally. She didn't get knocked down by any external force." "Huh?" Makoto looks panicked and confused. "You must have knocked her unconscious violently." "George, how can you be such an awful cruel person? What an absolute idiot with no basic judgment ability." As he keeps talking anxiously, his voice even starts to choke up slightly. I just shout out loud casually, "Yeah, I knocked her out on purpose. Keep talking and I'll knock you out too without hesitation." He's stunned into complete silence instantly, not daring to make any sound for a long while afterward. "Can someone help carry her to the school infirmary?" I ask loudly while looking around at surrounding classmates. All the classmates avoid my direct gaze nervously. Helping Willow would mean offending popular Freya. They don't dare to take such a risky action. Only the saintly male lead Makoto likes to play the heroic savior. Otherwise, how could he successfully become Willow's only light in darkness? And how could he easily attract Freya's favorable attention toward himself? Unfortunately, all he ever does is empty talk without real action. I sigh helplessly and hoist Willow onto my own back personally. It's only a 5-minute walk to reach the infirmary normally, but it takes me nearly half an hour to arrive slowly. This lousy and different school environment. Even the teachers just watch coldly without offering any help. I help Willow not only because I want to reshape her fate. It's also because I have personally experienced being excluded and going hungry. In some hidden ways, we are really quite alike to each other. On the way walking forward, Willow seems to wake up briefly for a moment. Seeing that it's me carrying her body, she is so shocked she can't say a word. Then she falls back into unconsciousness again shortly after. Makoto follows closely behind us all the way to the infirmary. After settling Willow comfortably on the bed, I go out to buy a bottle of water. When I come back again, Willow is already fully awake. Before I even walk into the room, I hear Makoto speaking softly. "Willow, thank goodness you're safe and okay now. It wasn't for nothing that I worked so hard to bring you to the infirmary." Chapter 12. I find his words a bit funny and ridiculous. He just simply followed behind me the whole time. What real hard work could he possibly claim to have done? Willow lowers her eyelids gently as she looks straight at him. Her skin is so pale that you can see tiny blood vessels beneath her eyelids. Makoto. Makoto quickly interrupts her unfinished sentence. "No need to thank me for this small favor. As classmates, we should always help each other in need. Makoto, I just naturally fainted from poor health. I didn't get hurt or die at all." "Huh?" The male lead looks completely stunned and awkward. "The person who carried me all the way here was George, not you. What undeserved credit are you trying to claim for yourself?" That unexpected reply surprises me a little. Willow actually has a clear mind and sharp tongue. I thought she'd just blindly believe whatever Makoto said. It's refreshing that she's not written as a mindless, foolish character. "Yeah, I'm the one who carried her here personally," I say as I push the door open at just the right moment. I leave Makoto with no face at all in front of Willow. What's the meaning of taking credit for others' efforts while I was gone? Makoto's face turns pale, then red, then pale once again. In the end, he slips out of the room awkwardly without another word. I hand a cold bottle of purified water to Willow. "The doctor said you suffer from low blood sugar problems. You'll feel much better after finishing the intravenous drip. When the treatment is done, I'll take you out to eat proper nourishing food." Willow doesn't reach out to take the water bottle. She looks at me with obvious wariness in her eyes. "George, what tricky scheme are you playing now?" I sincerely want to apologize to you properly. Seeing the confused expression on her face, I bow my body toward her solemnly and respectfully. "I'm truly sorry for my past deeds. Bullying you constantly before was all my fault entirely. From now on, I will definitely change my bad behaviors." Chapter 13. The infirmary is so quiet that you could hear a pin drop easily. Willow says nothing in response, so I don't straighten up my bowed posture. How should I put it simply? Even though I'm a malicious male supporting role, I still have my own bottom-line principles and moral boundaries. Bullying vulnerable people is absolutely wrong behavior, even if those hurtful things weren't done by my current consciousness. Since I'm occupying this physical body now, I have a responsibility to face those past mistakes and take full accountability. After a long silent while, Willow finally speaks slowly. "What if I firmly refuse to forgive you forever?" "That is your absolute personal choice. Apologizing is my unavoidable responsibility. You have every legitimate right not to forgive me. Of course I will never forgive you easily." Willow curls her lips into a cold, mocking smile. "You trampled my dignity deeply into the cold ground countless times. On what grounds do you expect me to forgive you casually?" As she speaks these words, a vague memory floods into my mind suddenly. Willow actually once wrote a sincere love letter to George. It seems this incident happened back in their first year of high school. Willow fell for George at first sight back then. It was her very first innocent youthful crush. She carefully wrote a heartfelt letter, gently expressing her shy hidden romantic feelings. But George read the tender letter out loud in public openly, and mocked her brutally for this matter ever since that day. From then on, whenever he caught sight of her figure, he deliberately excluded and alienated her on all occasions. And Willow's pure young love gradually turned into deep hatred. Later on, Makoto became the only person who treated her kindly. She gradually developed soft feelings and fell for him slowly. What an extremely cliché and messy emotional storyline. I fall into thoughtful silence after recalling the past. Willow says nothing more either, staying quiet as well. At that quiet moment, Makoto returns to the room suddenly. His arrival successfully breaks the heavy silent atmosphere. He brings several other classmates along with him. He points his finger directly at my position accusingly. It was him. He's the one who knocked Willow unconscious on purpose. I honestly want to open up his brain and see what thoughts are inside. The doctor clearly stated it was just low blood sugar issue. Yet he didn't listen to a single word of the professional explanation. Makoto, if you don't know what low blood sugar means, you can look up the relevant knowledge online by yourself. Before I can finish my explanatory sentence, Willow opens her mouth and speaks up unexpectedly. Yes, it was him indeed. She lifts her head slowly. Her lifeless eyes meet mine directly. It was George who hit me and caused my fainting. Chapter 14. I seriously regret my kindness right now. When Willow fainted back then, I should have just ignored her completely. After school ends, even though Willow has just recovered from illness, she is still assigned heavy work to clean the whole campus grounds. I watch her thin, slender figure struggling slightly while working. In my inner mind, I curse that she brings this trouble upon herself. But I still walk over quickly and grab her by the collar lightly. Willow, what was that false accusation about in the infirmary today? It was nothing important at all. Her speaking tone remains extremely indifferent and cold. I know neither of us are kind, good people. But I genuinely helped you out back then. At the very least in that dangerous moment, we were temporary allies. How could you just stab me in the back like that without hesitation? She doesn't answer my questioning words at all. She just keeps sweeping the ground silently without pause. Fine, sweep yourself to exhaustion then. I mutter unhappily as I turn around to leave the spot. The classmates Makoto brought along all dislike me deeply. She suddenly speaks out and stops me in my departing tracks. He naively thinks those friends are sincere good people. But he doesn't know the truth, they all hold dislike toward me. So what is your hidden intention behind this? I ask curiously. As long as I'm the one you supposedly hit, you won't get isolated and ostracized by everyone because of me. I freeze on the spot after hearing her thoughtful words. The gentle evening breeze blows past our bodies quietly. The young girl stands straight upright, like a tree about to grow tall and strong. Willow lowers her cold eyes slowly, as if she never said that meaningful sentence just now. You did this because you knew I was helping you secretly? She neither confirms nor denies my guess. I ask her once again, why did you choose to help me? She gives a surprising answer straightforwardly. Because you are not the real George the first used to know. Chapter 15. Her sudden words freeze me firmly on the spot. What exactly are you talking about right now? You are not the genuine George. Willow repeats her judgment again. The physical body belongs to him, but the inner soul is completely different. How could you possibly figure out this secret? I can clearly sense the obvious changes in you. Your personality and behaviors are very different from the original George. At this point, there is no point denying this obvious truth anymore. When did you manage to find out my real identity? I noticed it back in the narrow alley, when you were checking my body. So you knew the truth from the very first day I arrived here. In the original story setting, Willow possesses exceptionally sharp intelligence. And now it is crystal clear to me. This is exactly the keen perception a truly smart person should have. We see each other almost every single day regularly. If a person's inner core changes greatly yet no one notices, that would actually be far more strange and unnatural. Now I finally understand all her previous strange reactions. Why at first Willow still tried to scheme against me and disgust me deliberately. But later on, she gradually stopped showing obvious hostility toward me. I ask her with genuine curiosity, aren't you afraid of this bizarre fact? Something this supernatural and unbelievable. She shakes her head calmly without any trace of fear. What is the point of feeling scared about reality? She speaks reasonable words. At this current stage, fear is the most useless and powerless emotion. Willow, since you already know all the truth clearly, let's choose to cooperate and work together from now on. She asks me doubtfully, work together to achieve what goal exactly? We will focus on studying hard and improving ourselves steadily. She lets out a disdainful scoff. Is that really necessary to do so? I'm not suited for academic studying at all. You hold the wrong opinion about yourself. You are extremely smart, smarter than anyone I have ever met before. I can personally tutor you all subjects patiently. All you need to do is become far better and outstanding than Freya. What is your hidden purpose and ultimate goal? I have no desire to get engaged and marry Freya. I pick up a fallen broom casually. I start helping her sweep the ground while continuing our conversation. I am not the George you knew in the past. I do not have any affection for Freya. In fact, I even dislike her greatly. I refuse to become a helpless pawn in a political marriage alliance. That is why I plan to resist and fight against this arranged fate. You feel the exact same way deep inside your heart, don't you? I look straight into her eyes sincerely. You don't actually want to be a constant punching bag for others. You refuse to keep getting bullied and humiliated endlessly. You hate going hungry and fainting because of low blood sugar. Becoming stronger and better is the only viable way out for both of us. Willow expresses her inner worry. Even if I improve myself, the Liu family still won't give me any fair chance. How can you draw such a conclusion without even trying? Chairman Liu is a shrewd businessman. What he values and pursues the most is actual profit and benefits. Besides, you don't have to stay trapped inside the Liu family forever. You can build your own brilliant future independently elsewhere. You won't have to live hiding under anyone's shadow anymore. Willow stays silent and thinks for a long period of time. In the end, she finally agrees to form a partnership with me. Before leaving school grounds, Willow puts forward one last question. Go ahead and ask whatever you want to know. I assume she's going to ask about our specific cooperation plan. Instead, she brings up an unexpected personal question. What was your original name in your past life? The gorgeous setting sun reflects bright golden light in her clear eyes. It looks just like molten burning gold flames shining brightly. I opened my mouth and told her the truth. I was also called George. Chapter 16. It turns out Willow's poor bottom-of-the-class rankings were all intentional choices. She deliberately didn't want to stand out and attract Madame Liu's resentment. Ever since we started our mutual study partnership, she finally began showing her real outstanding academic ability gradually. Test after examination, her ranking keeps rising steadily upward. This private school doesn't arrange evening self-study sessions for students. Most of the students here are planning to study abroad in the future, so there is no urgent need for them to study extremely hard every day. But every single day after school ends, I drag Willow along to stay and study in the quiet library. She no longer gets chances to be bullied and hurt by others. We study diligently together late deep into the night time. I walk safely escort her back home every evening. I only leave the vicinity after the light in her bedroom turns on. As for the male lead Makoto, his clumsy lies are far too easy to see through. Willow completely ignores his existence from now on. Summer season is approaching quickly, and so is the college entrance exam. One ordinary day in the library while doing practice exercises. I accidentally doze off and fall asleep unconsciously. When I slowly wake up again, I find Willow's warm jacket gently draped over my body. She is staring fixedly at my sleeping face intently. There is a soft, gentle emotion in her eyes that I have never seen before. When she notices that I have woken up fully, Willow quickly looks away awkwardly. She pretends to focus all her attention on her own homework work. Is this your outer jacket covering me now? She answers my question in a stiff, unnatural tone. If you don't like wearing it, just give it back to me directly. I like wearing it very much. I say softly while pulling the coat tighter around myself. It carries a nice, faint, pleasant smell. Willow, are you wearing scented perfume on your body? No, I don't use perfume at all. I take a deep breath to smell the fragrance clearly. It's your body wash scent. It smells really comforting and nice. She doesn't respond to my words, yet her grip on the pen tightens visibly. The tips of Willow's ears turn faint red shyly. Even though she is defined as a cold villain character, she is still just an ordinary high school teenage girl essentially. How truly bad and ruthless could she really be in nature? I lean close to her ear and ask playfully, Willow, what brand and type of body wash do you usually use? It's just the cheapest common type sold in neighborhood convenience stores. Then I will buy the exact same product as yours. I say with a mischievous playful grin on my face. That way, my body will smell just like yours too, right? Rip. Willow's pen tears straight through the white exercise paper. She really cannot handle casual teasing and flirting well. My unusual daily behaviors also gradually draw my family's attention. One weekend morning right after breakfast time, I am about to head out to meet Willow and work on practice papers. George's mother suddenly speaks to me thoughtfully. George, you have changed a lot recently. My heart skips a beat nervously at her words. As biological parents, it is impossible for them not to notice. Their son's inner core personality has undergone huge obvious changes. I force myself to stay calm and composed on the surface. In what ways have I changed exactly? You have become far more hardworking and diligent than before. You're no longer obsessed with playing and having fun all day long. And you haven't asked me for pocket money for a very long time. You used to spend 100,000 cash every single month casually. It's my final critical year of high school now. I explain calmly. If I don't work hard and cherish time now, it will definitely be too late. George's mother looks carefully at my facial expression. Her eyes gradually turn reddish with complicated emotions. That is not the real change, George. You have become more like how you used to be in the old days. Hashtag chapter 17. What exactly does her vague sentence mean? I vaguely feel there is deeper hidden meaning behind her words. As parents, their usual attitude toward their son was never warm. Could there be some unknown past story behind all these matters? The doorbell suddenly rings sharply, breaking the silence. Freya stands outside the gate holding a delicate decorated cake. George, the weather is nice and comfortable today. Would you like to take a leisurely walk in the park together with me? She is clearly trying her best to please and win me over. It is probably Madame Lou's arranged idea, sending her over to cling tightly to my side and secure the engagement. But I can easily see the obvious reluctance hidden deep in her eyes. I'm not going out with you. I refuse her invitation directly. Why are you declining my kindness? We can go to your favorite fancy restaurant for lunch together. I cut off her unfinished words without hesitation. Move aside, please. You are blocking my way forward. My repeated firm refusals finally anger the Lou family's proud eldest daughter. George, I have already given you enough face by coming here personally to ask you out. What more satisfaction do you want to gain from me? I simply do not like you at all. Can you understand such plain, simple language? Still throwing petty tantrums out of anger, huh? I heard you've been getting extremely close to Willow lately. Are you deliberately trying to make me jealous on purpose? She curls her lips into a conceited smug smile. Playing hard to get is enough tactics for now. You can stop this childish act and come back to my side. Behave like a good obedient boy, and I might consider getting engaged to you. Shut up, idiot. I have completely lost patience with her nonsense. I grab the whole cake and dump it heavily over her head. Sweet cream and fresh fruit smear all over her carefully styled hair. I feel uncomfortable just looking at you right now. Do you really think your appearance is that attractive and charming? The way you talk sounds extremely greasy and unpleasant. It's just like you are selling cooking oil shamelessly. You don't possess any real capable strength at all. Yet you hold overly high arrogant confidence in yourself. Where do you even get such bold audacity from? I'm warning you seriously. If you bother me once again, next time the consequence will be far worse than just cake on your head. Freya is thoroughly stunned by my sudden barrage of sharp insults. When she finally comes back to her senses, she angrily grabs my clothes tightly in a rage. You actually dare to insult me openly like this? She yanks me so hard that I almost lose my balance and fall down. At that intense moment, Willow suddenly rushes out from nowhere and slaps Freya hard across the cheek without holding back. Don't you dare touch him again. Hashtag chapter 18. Willow doesn't hold back her strength in this slap. Freya is knocked straight down onto the ground heavily. I quickly pull Willow back and stop her further action. Don't keep hitting her recklessly. The college entrance exam is approaching very soon. Don't create unnecessary trouble right now. Willow obediently withdraws her raised hand immediately. But she glares viciously at Freya with sharp warning eyes. That fierce expression looks just like a wary cheetah ready to attack. She utters a cold, threatening warning. Touch him once more, and I will chop your hand off completely. Freya falls into total messy disarray and panic. A clear red handprint is visible on her cheek surface. She trembles violently so badly that she can't even stand up steadily. A clever idea suddenly comes into my mind. Willow, do you know what kind of threats work most effectively? Brute violence never truly solves fundamental problems. You have to aim your attack directly at people's inner minds and weaknesses. I take out my mobile phone and snap several photos of embarrassed Freya. Miss, if you keep disturbing our daily life endlessly, these awkward, embarrassing photos will spread all over social media platforms. You wouldn't want countless strangers to see you looking like this, right? Freya instantly breaks down emotionally. She begs me anxiously not to publish those photos online. After she runs away in panic and shame, I hook an arm casually around Willow's shoulder. See clearly now. When dealing with people who care greatly about their public image, you just need to hit their most vulnerable weak spot directly. That is how a top-tier villain handles problems perfectly. She frowns slightly upon hearing the word villain. Villain? Nothing important. Let's leave this place now. After taking a few steps forward, Willow refuses to follow my pace. George, you clearly saw that slap I just threw a moment ago, right? Yeah, I witnessed the whole scene. What about it exactly? Evaluate my strength and performance objectively. Strong and powerful, really impressive moves. Exactly right. She nods her head firmly. Her dark eyes stay fixed steadily on my face. So I am definitely not a weak little cowardly girl. Hashtag Chapter 19. I spend some spare time investigating the original host's past experiences. George suffered a serious car accident 3 years ago. He lost all his precious memories completely after the crash. And his usual personality also changed drastically overnight. When his mother said I'd become more like his old self, she was probably referring to his state before that terrible accident. Coincidentally enough, I've been traveling through countless different worlds all this time. I worked as a malicious male supporting role for exactly 3 whole years. 3 years ago, where I originally came from and who I truly was. I have absolutely no memory or clue about those matters. Soon enough, the crucial college entrance exam finally arrives. But the night right before the exam day, an unexpected troublesome incident suddenly takes place. I completely can't get in touch with Willow by any means. To leave herself a safe backup plan for future development, Willow deliberately held back her real strength during mock examinations. She kept her grade ranking steadily around top 20 in the whole grade. Even so, her improved performance still aroused Madame Lu's deep suspicion. Half a month before the official exam date, Madame Lu began cutting off Willow's daily food and living allowance. She made up various unreasonable excuses, sometimes not letting her eat at all. That food shortage problem isn't difficult for me to solve. I can secretly bring her sufficient meals every single day. But why is it impossible for me to reach her now? After asking around and gathering information, my worried suspicion gets fully confirmed as true. Willow has been strictly placed under house arrest at home. Their obvious goal is to stop her from taking the college entrance exam. I feel intense anger burning inside my chest instantly. I personally taught her all academic knowledge patiently. I helped her recover and build up her weak physical health. Willow is just like a little kitten I have been raising carefully beside me. I can tease and mess with her as much as I want personally, but no other outsider gets the right to bully and harm her. At midnight time, I head straight toward the huge Lu family villa. A single dim light is still on inside a remote small attic room. I climb up the outer wall from the building side smoothly. It sounds like an overpowered amazing skill ability, but I have experienced ancient romance and cultivation worlds before. Without some survival skills, how could I stay alive safely? I gently knock on the small wooden window pane. Willow looks at me with obvious surprise on her face. The window lock isn't fastened tightly at all. Madame Lu holds full arrogant confidence. She thinks even if Willow dares to jump down, she will at least break her bones severely and get injured badly. So she didn't bother locking the window securely. Willow's living room is pitifully small and simply furnished. It is completely different from the luxurious grandeur outside the house. "How did you manage to climb up here?" she asked me curiously. "I came here specially to rescue you out of confinement." "Then, shall we run away from here right now?" "No need to rush in such a hurry. We will leave safely tomorrow early morning. Get a good night's rest first and conserve enough physical strength. With me staying here accompanying you." Willow seems to gradually relax her tense mood. "All right, I suddenly remember the special date." I take out a small squeezed cake from my waist storage pouch. Its original shape is already squished and shapeless now. Still, I stick a thin candle into the cake and light it up gently. "Willow, happy 18th birthday." Hashtag Chapter 20. I had looked up Willow's personal profile information before. Her birthday happened to fall exactly on the college entrance exam day. I picked this discounted small cake casually on my way coming here. I never expected such an ordinary cheap dessert. It would move Willow to such an emotional extent. Early the next morning, I firmly secured a thick safety rope. I let Willow climb down slowly along the rope safely. Willow asked me anxiously about my next plan. "What about you? Aren't you going to the examination hall?" "I don't need to take this exam personally. My parents invested a large sum of money into this school. I can directly get admission qualifications without exams." In this wealthy social circle, Willow wasn't surprised at all by this kind of privileged treatment. "Then come escape away together with me. I'm not leaving with you right now." I blink my eyes slightly. I am about to pull off a shocking big event here. Madame Lu had arranged many burly security guards at the villa entrance. As Willow lowers herself down the rope carefully, her movement is quickly noticed by the vigilant guards. A group of strong, sturdy men rush forward rapidly. They pin Willow down firmly and restrict her movement. At the same time, I fiercely smash the glass window beside me. The loud crashing sound successfully draws everyone's full attention. At that chaotic moment, all family members staying in the villa come rushing outside. I throw a lit match down toward the ground downstairs. It ignites the gasoline-soaked cloth I prepared well in advance. Bright blazing flames shoot upward into the air instantly. The whole place falls into complete chaotic turmoil immediately. Some people rush hurriedly to put out the spreading fire. Some people try their best to drag Willow away from the spot. Several others come running quickly to grab my body. Before long, 2 police cars pull up steadily at the villa entrance. We received a formal report that someone is abusing a minor child. We also heard there is an unknown burglar breaking into this residence. All kinds of troubles pile on top of each other. What an extremely lively and noisy chaotic scene. Sharp police sirens, flickering dangerous firelight. Panicked screams and angry curses fill the air everywhere. Now this lively spectacle perfectly suits villains like us. As the bright dawn breaks over the horizon, I shout loudly toward trapped Willow. Run away quickly. The ideal university future is waiting for you ahead. Amid the surrounding confusion and chaos, the young girl breaks free from all restraining hands. She runs forward bravely toward the rising warm sun. Chapter 21. Before the police broke in, something suddenly crossed my mind. System, what's the favorability level now? I had muted the system voice back on the day of the arranged marriage. I had almost forgotten it existed. Host, you finally remembered me, sob sob. The favorability has already reached 70. So fast, I was surprised. But I was surprised too early. Because the system added, host, your favorability toward Willow has also reached 50. I was stunned for a long time. Then I figured it out. I had traveled through different worlds, always becoming a despised vicious male supporting role. I had always been alone. Until I met Willow, it felt like I had found someone of my own kind. Mutual understanding, that must be what this feeling is. After the police conducted their investigation, they found Madame Lou suspected of abusing a minor and took her away. As for me, nothing happened. I was a guest invited by Miss Willow. On what grounds could they accuse me of trespassing? Don't believe it. Go ask Willow. As for the cloth I threw down, it wasn't gasoline at all. It wouldn't burn for long. If asked, I'd say it was to cheer on the college entrance exam. After giving me a brief lecture, the police let me go. Willow gave it her all in the exam. As expected, she became the top science student in the province. Her results were so stunning that they completely overshadowed Freya. As soon as the exam ended, she cooperated with the police investigation confirming Madame Lou's abuse. The Lou family tried to pull strings, but it was useless. The media got involved first. A top student abused over a long period of time. Those keywords combined were enough to ignite public opinion throughout the summer. Of course, Willow had to pay a price too. She could never return to the Lou family. She rented a place outside and started studying finance on her own in advance. I said, Willow, from now on, just shine as brightly as you can. Wait for your father to come find you himself. Okay. She followed my instructions completely, never questioning them. At the same time, my parents' attitude toward me gradually changed. My father even intended to hand over the family business to me, and I studied it seriously. In the second half of freshman year, Willow began to make a name for herself and earned her first pot of gold. She started to give back to me, taking me to restaurants I liked, ordering milk tea, snacks, and all kinds of treats for me every day. So frequently that even the delivery drivers around here recognized me. They joked, your girlfriend is feeding you again. After I denied it a few times, they didn't believe me. If she's not your girlfriend, why would she treat you so well? Eventually, I stopped bothering to explain. Sophomore year, I went to a horror escape room with classmates. Willow came too. I asked, aren't you really busy lately? How do you have time to hang out with me? You're fearless about everything except ghosts. I have to be here with you. Oh. But wait. How do you know I'm afraid of ghosts? Chapter 22. This was strange. The original George wasn't afraid of ghosts. And I had never told Willow, so how did she know? Willow didn't have time to explain. The game had already begun. Everyone threw themselves into the tense puzzle solving. Willow stayed in front of me the entire time. The NPCs always scared her first. Near the end, I was singled out by an NPC and had to accept a solo punishment. I would be locked inside a small wardrobe alone in the dark for 5 minutes. During that time, I had to endure all kinds of surround sound effects, ghosts knocking, crying, and more. Just before the wardrobe door closed, Willow ignored the rules and squeezed in. The wardrobe was tiny, barely enough for one person. The moment she got in, the space became cramped. My back pressed against the wall, my front against her. We were too close. We could clearly feel each other's breathing and body heat. As the horror sound effects started, Willow put headphones on me. A light, cheerful melody dispelled the fear. You know, even if a heavy rain turns the whole city upside down, I'll give you a place to stay. I suddenly lifted my eyes. Willow stared at the wall, pretending to stay calm. She had grown taller, and her features were more mature than when she was 17. Right, because I liked women with a bit of softness to them. She worked out every day. She was no longer the frail girl from high school. Now, her figure was exactly my type, curves in all the right places, a slim waist. She had grown completely in the way I liked. Tempting. I've never been one to hold back. If I want something, I go for it. I reached out and touched her lower abdomen. Willow panicked. What are you doing? Just touching. The moment I finished speaking, the ghost slammed against the door. The sound was chilling, piercing through the music in the headphones. Willow said, "Don't be afraid. I'm blocking it. Even if it comes in, you won't have to see its face. You go ahead." Beep. The system notification sounded. Detected, host's favorability toward Willow has increased. Host's favorability toward Willow has increased again. Host's favorability toward Willow. My favorability toward Willow shot straight up to 90. At that moment, I was certain. I liked her. If I like someone, I say it. I don't hide it. Willow, I need to tell you something. But before that, let me confirm, do you like Makoto? Willow thought for a moment. The name Makoto even felt unfamiliar to her now. That high school boy. No. I don't like him. I'm not in contact with him anymore. I even deleted him from WeChat. Great. The storyline had already changed. She asked, "What's wrong? Why bring him up all of a sudden?" "If you don't like him, Willow, then I'm going to kiss you." Before Willow could react, I lowered my head and kissed her on the cheek. And said, "I like you." Chapter 23. In the darkness, Willow swallowed. A dark flame burned in her eyes. It was longing and desire. I smiled and asked, "Do you like me?" I already knew the answer. Her favorability toward me had long surpassed the maximum. But I wanted to hear her say it. Willow didn't answer. She cupped my face and kissed me directly. At first, the kiss was urgent. Then, as if afraid of scaring me, it became light and gentle, careful and tender. "I like you, George. I really, really like you." Her breath lingered by my ear, making it itch a little. "I really, really, really like you. George, I love you." When the NPC opened the wardrobe door, Willow was still holding the back of my neck. Kissing me as if we were one, the NPC felt extremely awkward watching. Chapter 24. On the way back, hand in hand, I asked Willow, "You still haven't answered me. How did you know I'm afraid of ghosts?" Willow thought for a moment. "George, have you ever considered a possibility?" "What?" "That you were actually George all along." Hearing that, I wasn't surprised. In fact, over the past few years, all kinds of signs had pointed to it. I was George. After the car accident at 15, my body had been taken over. A transmigrator occupied my body. His personality drastically changed, bullying the weak and fearing the strong. And I lost my memory, forced to wander through different worlds as a despised vicious male supporting role. My parents were the first to notice. After several tests, they realized the possessor had a terrible personality, a born villain. He stole their son's body, ruined his reputation, and refused to be disciplined. So their attitude toward him grew worse and worse. The most important evidence was Freya. Because ever since I was little, I had disliked Freya. But after that car accident, why did I suddenly become her devoted admirer? Now I had returned. That's why my parents had been treating me better and better. No wonder, since the very beginning of my transmigration, this body had always felt so familiar. Willow said, "George, I actually have liked you for a long time." "What?" That genuinely surprised me. "We met back in middle school. You just forgot." Willow looked a little downcast. "You were different from everyone else. When others bullied me, you taught me how to get revenge. You really had a lot of bad ideas, but I liked that about you." I suddenly understood. Back in her first year of high school, Willow had written a love letter to George. That letter was actually written for me. It's just that at the time, Willow didn't know that George was no longer her George. But wait, wasn't I inside a novel? I asked the system, "What's really going on?" Only then did the system confess. The George in the book was actually the transmigrator. In the end, he was defeated by the native male lead protagonist Makoto. "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" "You didn't ask," it said, sounding aggrieved. Since I came back to my own home, why was there still a conquest mission? The system replied, because of the transmigrator's arrival, the plot had already been completed and the world had solidified. You were destined for a tragic ending. This system simulated countless possibilities. This was the only path that could guide you to a happy ending. Congratulations, host. Mission complete. Welcome home. Hashtag Chapter 25. The system left, its mission perfectly fulfilled. It was a good system, maybe a bit silly, but it had always been helping me. Later, Willow and I got a cat, and we named it System. During university, Willow displayed extraordinary talent and became the most eye-catching rising star in the business world. Meanwhile, under her brilliance, Freya gradually seemed ordinary. Chairman Lou personally invited Willow back to manage the company, because a major partner had made it clear they would only cooperate with Willow. Willow's value doubled, and I became the heir of the Wang family. After Madame Lou fell seriously ill, she passed away not long after. Chairman Lou later fell sick as well, perhaps karma. Being in a relationship with Willow was incredibly sweet. It's just that I was always exhausted during the day. Tirelessly, day and night, she kept proving to me that she was very capable. I even regretted saying that line back then. If I had known I'd be retaliated against like this one day, I would never have challenged her pride even if it killed me. Later on, Freya and Makoto got married. They had both changed a lot. Freed from the constraints of the plot, they finally became normal people with natural personalities. Everyone found their own ending. At the age of 24, Willow and I got married. In the golden autumn, we held hands and became each other's family. Whether a protagonist or a supporting role, so what? The future is written by ourselves. We will face the rising sun and run toward happiness.